So NBA Youngboy released a brand new album right here. Still Flexin, Still Steppin is the name of the project. 14 tracks, 38 minutes long, not that long. As of right now, as of this video, I'm recording this after the unfortunate situation with Pop Smoke. If you guys don't know, something happened where, if I'm not mistaken, it was like 4 people that got into his house and unfortunately killed him. At this point in time, it's been like over a week since I did do my reaction to the Pop Smoke project, Meet the Woe 2. So rest in peace to Pop Smoke, very unfortunate situation. I was just getting into his music. That was my first reaction to a project from him. This is actually going to be my first reaction to NBA Youngboy right here. He is also 20 years old. If you guys don't know my age, I'm 22. So it's going to be interesting to listen to this project right here. Honestly, it's unfortunate the things that have been happening recently, but let's try to keep a positive vibe definitely for this video right here. Definitely want to see how this is going to be. The tracks that I have listened to from NBA Youngboy hasn't been that much. It's only been like Genie, Through the Storm, if I'm not mistaken, is the other name for the track. And the other one that I did listen to recently was the Dirty Diana cover that he did do. That was actually an interesting listen because I wasn't expecting NBA Youngboy to do a Dirty Diana Michael Jackson cover. But let's get right to the first track right here. It's actually a track that says, "Rest in peace, Lil Phat." Not aware who that is, but rest in peace to that person also. Let's get right to the first track. Let's try to keep positive vibes when it comes to this video. Let's see how this is going to be. Send it home. Yeah, very aggressive beat right here for sure. Okay, so that's actually my first introduction right here to an album of NBA Youngboy. Very aggressive beat, a very aggressive flow. Pretty much, for some reason, I actually had a different type of vibe expected given the title of the track being R.I.P. Lil Phat. But he actually went for a very hard-hitting type of production, and at the same time, he was actually talking about how watch me do my murder dance. So it was actually something I wasn't expecting given the title of the track, but I actually didn't not enjoy it. I actually did enjoy the vibe for the start. I'm interested in seeing if this is how he's actually going to be going throughout the project, because from what I remember when it came to other tracks, he actually has other tracks where it's more melodic, not necessarily going with this type of flow all the time. Let's see how this is going to be. The way, maybe I'm wrong. Knocked Off. Let's see how this is going to be the second track. That sound right there. Hey. Star Wars reference. So the first 2 tracks have had very aggressive beats, very hard-hitting flows as well. And for some reason, he doesn't sound like him right here, but for some reason I actually did get reminded of Wayne. Maybe it has to do with the fact that I did react to him recently to the Funeral album. But I actually did get reminded of Wayne when it came to the Renegade freestyle he has. That's way back when he was a very young artist. So maybe it has to do with the fact that I'm reacting to a very young artist right here. NBA Youngboy is 20 years old, like I mentioned previously. But the Renegade freestyle was amazing, bro. So I just thought about that for some reason. But I actually do like so far how this sounds, even though it doesn't sound similar to that. Maybe it has to do, once again, like I mentioned, because of the age. Let's see how this is going to be. Lil Top. He has a very aggressive tone that is distinct, because I don't really recognize anybody that does this the same way he does it. And to be honest, his fan base is very big, because he has millions and millions of views on his videos, bro. Let's see how Lil Top is going to be. This beat sounds fire right here, right off the bat. Nobody tell him shit. Big boss. Yeah, definitely my favorite track so far. I mean, listen, like I've said previously on some other reactions, even though I am a person who enjoys different type of flows, it's very easy for me to enjoy a melody. And when you have some sort of melodic tone to your rapping, that automatically catches my attention. Like, it's very catchy. The topics mainly have been the same when it comes to the tracks so far, but given the environment, from what I'm aware of NBA Youngboy, what he has to go through right now currently with how he's living and the unfortunate circumstances of his life, I'm not surprised at the fact that these are the topics of his tracks. And his fans honestly enjoy it because he has a very, very big following. That it's interesting because I never ever listened to him on the radio, even when it comes to, like, given that I don't really listen to the radio much, but I'm aware of what actually is sounding in the radio still. It might be a hip hop related radio station. They wouldn't really put an NBA Youngboy track as much as they would try to promote some other type of artists. And even then, his fan base is really, really big, because I've seen some videos where he has insane amount of views, just keeping things to himself and to his fan base, and still actually gaining the attention of other listeners without actually having to go the route other people try to go through with some more mainstream type of topics and sounds that try to actually have features from artists that aren't even related to hip hop. And you know what I'm talking about, because you could tell these type of artists easily. Like much more how this sounds right here in the chorus. This tone sounds better than the start of the track. Without a doubt, I definitely felt some Young Thug influence when it came to that chorus right there. The way he was saying red eye and scheming, just the tone, it definitely reminded me of Thugger. But at the same time, when I listen to Young Thug do that, I definitely enjoy it a lot, because I feel like he's very, very great at the melodies like that. But for some reason, I didn't like it as much right here with NBA Youngboy. I still actually did enjoy certain parts of this track a lot when it came to the tones that sounded more regular to the type of voice he has. But usually when he was belting right here on the track, it didn't really sound as good compared to the other parts of the track. He pretty much had the same type of topics once again, but that's not something that I'm like holding against him, because I don't mind it. It's interesting because I did say in the previous track, it's easy for me to actually enjoy something that has a much more melodic vibe. And this actually kind of proved me wrong, because I did actually say that. And at this point, when it came to the red eye part, where he was actually going for more melodies, I didn't really enjoy it as much. It's a different type of beat right here. Time gonna go. This sounds a lot better right here. Okay, he switches flow right here. Yeah, he flowing for sure. When it came to that track, easily the best vibe from every single track so far. The best melodies without a doubt on Found by Time right there. Now when it came to like the best combination of having very small amount of melodies but actually doing more focus on the rapping, Lil Top was much better, but I gotta give it to Found by Time so far when it's very, very heavy on the melodies. So let's see this time. Suited PANAMERA is the name of the track, featuring Quando Rondo. I have heard of this artist, but I actually haven't listened to his music, but I have seen him like actually way back on Worldstar. Like he had a lot of views too. But it's interesting because I see these artists like when it comes to me just check it on YouTube, but at the same time I don't listen to the tracks. But I do see that a lot of people actually pay attention to them, even though they're not actually classified as more mainstream type of artists. They have like big followings at the same time. So let's see how this is gonna be right here. We're pretty much already halfway. Let's see what happens, right? Got trust issues. didn't think he'd sound like this. I wasn't expecting Rondo to sound like that. That actually caught me by surprise. I did vibe with the track, but actually vibe with the feature right here. That's actually the first feature so far. Doesn't really have much features. That's actually the only feature right here. Tired of playing games. Keep it real. Gotta tell him. The emotion on his tone right here, I actually do like it because it's not like a sad song, but at the same time, like you could tell, okay, what he's talking about, he really means it. Like he's actually feeling like this, like he's got all this money, but at the same time, he feels lonely, like he's battling with this depression, and at the same time, he's just looking for a female he could actually vibe with, that could actually keep it real, that at the same time ain't one of the other bitches he's talking about. Like he actually says to fuck them other bitches because he's just looking for somebody that actually vibes with him. Ain't no love. So he actually says on this track he would find peace all alone, even though he did talk about how he feels like with all this money being alone, he has problems of depression. On the previous track, he actually says that. Well, right here, he actually talks about how he finds peace all alone. So it's actually a contradiction right there, but he might have done it on purpose. Long RD is actually for long road. As you listen to the track, you obviously find out about that. When it comes to the beat, the production is actually a very, very chill. It's like a very, very chill beat compared to the way he's actually rapping. I would actually expect this to be like, you know, on those type of YouTube channels where they put like chill or lo-fi trap, and they just like put it 24/7 on a like a live stream. For some reason, I thought about that shit right there, bro. I'm smoking on that strong, you gonna miss me with that miss bitch. Okay, what's your home, man? I just popped the flat and I've been rolling since this morning, man. Put over, don't cut us up, stand up. Oh, yeah. Hey, man, it's your mama. Pop your Nike. If you're acting like you're tough, nigga tried to run, I hit the corner, then I bust. She said she got the drop, okay. I'm so loaded, play I got no cuttings in my back. She said she got the drop, okay, okay. We didn't put the wood in my... A heavy bounce on that production right there. I should have expected this to be like the theme throughout of the album, because given what I've listened to previously, like I said, Through the Storm, Genie. The other one was actually the Dirty Diana cover, which honestly, that's actually a bit different compared to the other tracks because it's actually a Michael Jackson cover. For some reason, I did actually find the video to be funny too. Just the fact that it was actually a Michael Jackson cover to somebody that doesn't really sound like MJ. I just hope, like I've said other times, like people actually take some of these stuff seriously, not just listen to it and vibe to it. Because when somebody talks about how they feel like this at 20 years old, of course they've had tough situations and tough circumstances. He even talks about how he's been at these point in times since he was 11, he's been going through this type of stuff. So people should actually take that seriously, not just vibe to the tracks when it comes to actually listening to him talk about the pills and overall just the fact that he's going through tough situations. Like just trying to make sure that these people actually have people to talk to is important, because he did talk about feeling lonely and struggling with depression. Given the fact that he's still rich, he doesn't feel like he has people to actually enjoy it with. Some Bruce Wayne shit right there. Bro, a lot of these beats sound great. Like I really have no problems, no issues at all when it comes to the production. And it's interesting because I did actually talk about that when it came to another young rapper, NLE Chopper. And he's actually much younger than NBA Youngboy. I think he's still 16 or 17, some shit like that. I think the main focus is they have to actually, if they want to keep progressing their careers, they actually should talk about some of the topics at the same time. But still, who am I to say that, given that NBA Youngboy has so many tracks with over 50 million views? I've seen some videos that I've seen in the searches, even though I haven't clicked them. I've noticed these things because, once again, I spend a lot of time on YouTube. He has like videos with over 100 million views, and that's a lot more than some artists that are actually quote unquote more popular. Waste of time.
Smoking dope on some cool shit. Don't tell me to go forward. Niggas that choking from a GUNSMOKE.
Bruh, NBA Youngboy said, spray that shit all at your mama. That's tough. That's tough. Out of those two tracks, I would say I do enjoy more Call Me Late. Do enjoy his flow much more compared to GUNSMOKE. Let's see how these last two tracks are gonna be right here. Bad Bad is the next track.
All I do is hand it to my man. Terminate you bitches, hit your block and leave it red. Youngboy hand back like they left for there's one place that I can play it. Cop cars coming to take your child away. Watch me burn before you bitches show me love.
This beat sounds a lot better right here. Alright, bruh. When it comes to the last two tracks right here, I definitely enjoyed No Understand the last track much more than I did enjoy the track number 13, Bad Bad. The sounds on the beat are much better. If I have to give a fair critique right here of the project overall, I would say it gets very monotone. When it comes to the main topics of the tracks, they sound pretty much the same throughout the entire album. So if you're listening to the first half of the project, you basically know what to expect when it comes to it having good production, good, very solid beats, but at the same time having the same topic throughout every single track, which might actually be something that a lot of people might enjoy. And it actually might be the case that that's actually what happens more often, because he has a lot of views with a very, very high like to dislike ratio in his favor. Like, people are very focused in listening to him, and he has an audience that is always right there when he drops a new track or a new project. But personally, for me, I feel like once I listen to the first half of the album, I'm not as interested in listening to the other half, because I know K's gonna go once again for the hard-hitting beats, very good production. But like I said with NLE Chopper, I feel like if he would actually deliver a different type of topic, a different type of, hey, it might even be like what he did with Dirty Diana, something different in that sense, might actually gravitate or have audiences that are not just his core fan base listen to him a bit more. In my case, I might not go back to many tracks on this project. Maybe like the ones that I did enjoy the most, which, like I said previously, were Lil Top, Fine by Time, I think was the other one, if I'm not mistaken. I know Lil Top was definitely one. Fine by Time. And it was one of these last tracks, aside from No Understand. I'm not sure if it was Long Road, but there's like around 5 tracks that I do enjoy right here. Let me know down below in the comment section if you're just like me, that you feel like these new artists, if they actually want to keep progressing, they should actually go for different type of topics, because they sound great when they're actually doing them. Aside from the Red Eye track where he actually belted a bit too much, that I did feel the Young Thug influence on him, but it doesn't actually sound as good as Young Thug doing a track. The more simple tones work for him better, but the higher type of tones not necessarily always hit correctly when it comes to his voice. He might actually practice that further on and actually get better at it, but so far I didn't enjoy it when it came to Red Eye. But let me know down below in the comment section if you did actually enjoy some tracks that I didn't personally vibe with as much. If you actually did enjoy this project completely, let me know down below in the comment section if you're actually an NBA Youngboy fan and you actually know about him much more than I do. That's going to be it either way. Subscribe for some of the reactions.